this video, we're going to practice exponents and order of operations. So before we start, what is an exponent? Exponents show how many times to multiply a number by itself. So before we start solving exponents and order of operations, let's start writing using exponential notation. So these problems that you are looking at right now, we need to write them using exponential notation. The first problem here, we are working with 4 and we have 1, 2, 3. So this will be 4 cubed or 4 to the third power. All right, so this number over here, the 3, this is called the exponent. And this 4 over here, we know this as the base. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem. Our base is 5. And what is the exponent? Let's count the number of 5s. 1, 2, 3. So it's 5 cubed. All right, what about this one here? The base is 7. And let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7 to the 6th power. What about this one here now? All right, so what I like to do is look over here. We have more 8s than 9. So I always like to find the base with more exponents. So the base, and we have 2, and the exponent will be 8 square or 8 to the second power. And this one here is simply just 1, so it's simply 9. All right, next we have 6 and 5. So let's work with 5 and let's count how many 5s. 1, 2, 3. The exponent would be 5 cubed or 5 to the third power. And remember this little symbol here, this represents multiplication. Okay, it represents multiplication. That's something to note and be aware of. And the 6, we have 2, so that will be 6 squared. So this is our answer, 5 cubed times 6 squared. Now, the next one, we have more 9s, and we have 6, and we have a 2. So let's write 9 is the base. And how many 9s? That's 4. Multiply or times, let's write 6, and we have 2, and we have 1, 2. Right, so this is our answer. Now you understand writing using exponential notation. Now let's evaluate these problems. So it means that we need to solve them. So how do we solve them? Well, we need to write them like this. 8, so we have 2. The exponent means how many times we are multiplying 8 by itself. So we are multiplying 8 by itself 2 times. And what is 8 times 8? So 8 times 8 is 64. So our final answer is 64. Right, the next problem, that will be 5 times 5 times 5, 3 times. The exponents will always tell us how many times we need to multiply the base by itself. So 5 times 5 will be 25. And 25 times 5. Well, think about money. If you have 5 25 cents, let's pretend this is 25, 25, and 25. Well, this one will be 50 cents, 50 cents, that's $1, and you have 25 cents. So this will be 125. The next problem, how many times are we multiplying 3 by itself? 5 times, so that will be 1, 2, 4, and 5. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9, and times 3. 9 times 9 is 81, and 81 times 3, well, we can quickly solve it this way. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 8 is 24. So this is our final answer, 243. Right, the next problem. Well, this one, we are multiplying 1 by itself 10 times. So 1 multiplied by itself will give you 1. So there's no need to try solving this. You simply know that it will be 1. Now, this one over here, we're multiplying. So this one, 8 to the first power simply means 8. This is our answer because you're just multiplying 8 by nothing else, so it will be 8. And what about this one? Now 10 squared, so 10 times 10. We're multiplying 10 two times by itself. So what I like to do is take this number and multiply by 1. That will be 10. And let's take the 0 and bring it down, so that's 100. Let's solve a couple more, then you will be ready to start simplifying and solving problems with exponents and using order of operations. All right, go ahead and try solving these exponents. So all right, let's look over here. We have 3, and over here we're multiplying 2 6 times by itself. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I like to do is group them here, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, and 2 times 2. This way is faster. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4. Again, let's group them. 4 times 4 is 16, and now we have 16 times 4. So we can quickly go ahead and multiply 16 by 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So we have 64. Now we take the 3 here and let's multiply it by 64. So let's take 64 multiplied by 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So our final answer is 192. Right, the next problem, it's 5, and we're multiplying 3 two times by itself. So let's multiply 3 times 3 will be 9, and 5 times 9 will be 45. Right, the next problem, 2 times 7, we're multiplying by itself 2 times, and 7 times 7 will be 49, and 2 times 49, we can go ahead and find the answer this way. It's always good to be organized when solving math problems. So 2 times 9 is 18, times 4 is 8, plus 1, that's 9. So our final answer is 98. At this point, you should know already the rules of PEMDAS, so let's quickly review them by solving these two problems. So first here we have divide, multiply, and add. So first we need to divide. So 14 divided by 7 will be 2. And let's rewrite 2. And let's rewrite 3. It's always great to keep your work organized and solve these problems in an organized manner. So 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 plus 3, how many is that? That is 7. So this is our answer, 7. Now let's go ahead and do the next problem. So we have divide and subtract. Well, first we need to divide. 42 divided by 7 will be 6. And let's bring down this number here, which is minus 6. And 6 minus 6 will be 0. All right, we just finished reviewing the order of operations, so now let's start adding exponents and start practicing and getting ready for your test or a quiz. This video is all about that. By practicing, you'll get better. Now, let's solve the first problem. So you can go ahead and solve the upper part, this part over here, or the lower part. So it's always best to start with this upper part here, which is the numerator. It's always good to start solving the numerator first. So let's go ahead and start solving. So the first thing we need to do over here, up here, is divide. That's the rule of operations. And 12 divided by 4 will give you 3. So we will have 5 plus 3. We will have 1 to the 7th power. Now, let's keep working with the numerator. 5 plus 3 is 8. And this one, 1 to the 7th power, simply means we are multiplying 1 by itself 7 times. So, and 1 times 1 will be 1. So this is very fast. And 8 divided by 1 will be 8. So this is our answer. Our answer is 8. All right, let's go ahead and solve the next problem. First thing, let's work on the numerator. And over here, this is the first thing we need to do is divide 9 divided by 3. And that will be 3. So 6 plus 3 and 3 squared. Now we can keep working in the numerator. 6 plus 3 is 9. And Now 3 times 3. 3 times 3 will give you 9, and 9 divided by 9 will give you 1. Right, let's keep practicing exponents and order of operations. So let's work on the numerator first. So 40 plus 8 will be 48. And now let's work on the denominator. Let's expand these two, evaluate these two exponents. So let's see the first one over here. We need to write 5 times 5 and minus, then let's take this one, 3 times 3. Now 5 times 5 is 25 and 3 times 3 is 9. Now let's subtract 25 minus 9. We need to borrow from the 2, that is 15, and we can count from 9 to 15. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 using your fingers, that is 6, and bring down the 1. Now we will have 48 divided by 16. If you multiply 16 by 3, you should get 48. So the answer is 3. Right, the next problem, let's start in the numerator, then we'll move to the denominator, or we can simultaneously solve slowly these two. So let's start with the numerator. We need to solve the parentheses first before we distribute. Okay, so let's solve the parentheses first. So that will be 5, and 12 minus 7 will be 5. And let's write minus 4. And now let's go ahead and do the denominators. Up to you. Which one do you feel more comfortable? Is it solving the numerator first, then after you finish solving the numerator, you move to the denominator? Which one do you prefer? Let me know down in the comments. So I prefer sometimes going simultaneously solving the numerator first, then the denominator. So it's up to you, whichever is less confusing to you. All right, so let's solve this one here. We're multiplying 5 by itself 2 times. So 5 times 5 will be 25. And let's write minus 18. Now, let's continue with the numerator now. So let's go ahead and distribute. So 5 times 5 is 25 minus 4, and 25 minus 18. Let me subtract over here. I need to borrow from the 1. That's 15. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 7 using your fingers. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So we will have 7 down here in the denominator. Now 25 minus 4, that will be 21 over 7. So 21 over 7 will give you 3. This is your answer, 3. Right, let's keep practicing. By the end of this video, you'll be really good at this because we have more than enough problems that you need to practice or that you can practice. So let's go ahead and do the first one. So here we have divide and here we have add. So which one should we do first? Well, the division, but. Over here we have 8 divided by 0. And do you know that we cannot divide by 0? We cannot do it. So this problem, just by we starting by this problem cannot be solved. So we will call this problem undefined. So this is our answer, undefined. So you have to be careful whenever we divide by 0 because we cannot divide by 0. Okay. All right. Next. All right, that was it for this problem. Let's move on to the next problem. Let's look over here. We have some brackets, and then we have parentheses inside the brackets. So we need to solve the parentheses first. So let's go ahead and rewrite this one. 40 minus 8 minus 2 will give you 6. Let me put it in parentheses, and minus 2 to the 5th power. All right, so now let's look into the brackets, and is there something else we can do? Well, this parenthesis, there's nothing else in this parenthesis, so let's rewrite this. 40 minus 6, and now we can go ahead and solve this one over here. That will be 5 times, so 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5 times, multiplying 2 by itself. So let's group them like this. 2 times 2 will be 4, 2 times 2 will be 4 times 2. And 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 2 will give you 32. Right, let's rewrite this now. There's nothing else we need to do in this bracket, so let's rewrite it. 40 minus 6, don't forget a minus sign here, 32. Right, so let's go ahead and let's do 40 minus 6. So 40 minus 6 will give you 34. 4. And 34 minus 32, that will be 2. So this is our answer, 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and try solving these problems. First, let's keep our problems well organized. That's what we need to do to avoid any mistakes. So 9 times 9, this will be 2 times 2, and 1 to the 1 times 1 will simply be 1. Alright, so next, let's rewrite this again. 3, 1 divided by 3. Alright, let's go ahead and let's multiply 9 times 9, and then let's multiply 2 times 2. Okay, so 9 times 9 will be 81, plus 2 times 2 will be 4, and let's rewrite the one here just to keep our working organized. Next, let's work on the denominator now, because I feel pretty confident that the numerator was solved right. So let's go ahead and divide 8 divided by 2. So 8 divided by 2 will be 4. Let's rewrite these numbers. Let's rewrite times 3 times 1 and divided by 3 just to not make any mistakes. Right, so we need to multiply. So 4 times 1 will be 4, right? So there's nothing else we can do here. So let's add 81 plus 4. So 81 plus 4 will be 85. Oh, I just noticed this is a minus sign. So let me fix this here. It's supposed to be a minus, and this one's supposed to be a minus sign. So let's fix this. Okay, so it's minus 1. So, all right, so I was trying to keep my working organized and I almost made a mistake. But, so whenever you organize your work, it's also very easy to track your mistakes. Anyways, let's continue. 4 times 3 will be 12. And let's rewrite 1 divided by 3. All right, now 12 times 1 will simply be 12 divided by 3, and 85 minus 1. So 85 minus 1 will be 84, and 12 divided by 3, that will be 4. And how many times does 4 goes into 84? Well, we can simply do this. So let's divide this by 4, that is 2. And let's divide 4 into 4, that will be 1. So our answer is 21. All right, let's go ahead and solve the next problem. So that will be 5 times 5, and 2 times 2 times 2, plus simply 1. Right, so we have divide, multiply, multiply, divide. So over here, the first thing we need to do is divide. So 10 divided by 5, that would be 2. Let's rewrite 4, 1, and 4. Next, let's work on the numerator now. So let's do this one that is in parentheses. So, or we can do this one as well. So let's do 5 times 5 is 25. And minus 2 times 2 is 4 times 2. That will be 8. And let's write plus 1. Now, over here, let's multiply this one. Here, 2 times 4. 2 times 4 will be 8. And let's write here 1 and divide it by 4. Okay, let's go ahead and let's subtract 25 minus 8. We need to do subtraction first before addition. That's the rule of order of operations. So 25 minus 8 is supposed to give you 17. You can simply go ahead and subtract this way. That will be, we need to borrow from the 2, that's 15. We can count from 8 to 15 using your fingers. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's 7. And bring down the 1, that's 17. So 17, and now 8 times 1 will be 8. And divided by 4 now, 8 divided by 4 is simply 2. And now we need to finish working on the numerator. We have this 1 here, so 17 plus 1 will be 18 divided by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. So this is our answer. Our answer is 9. Right here we have a problem with exponents using order of operations. This problem is something you might see on a final test. So let's try solving it. So first let's look closely, and let's look over here. We have brackets, and within the brackets we have parentheses. So we first need to solve the parentheses. So let's go ahead and rewrite these numbers. 13 That's 20 minus 7. So 20 minus 7 should be 13. And then we have 2 over 5. Let's rewrite everything. This way we can keep our working organized without making any mistakes. All right, what's next? We haven't finished working inside the bracket, so let's see, what can we do over here? Well, we can work on this exponent now. So let's go and let's rewrite. Nothing else to do in these parentheses, so let's rewrite 13 plus and 2 times 2 times 2. We're doing it 5 times, so let me write it 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 2 times 2 will be 4, and 2 times 2 will be 4 times 2, that's 16. 16 times 2, that's 32. So we will have 32. All right, so let's rewrite the numbers again. 13 divided by 13 plus 32 minus 2 plus 3 squared. Now we haven't finished getting rid of this bracket, so let's solve now. 13 divided by 13 will be 1 plus 32. Now we have 2 plus 3 parentheses, and in parentheses squared. Now, what's the next step? Well, the next step is trying to solve this problem here. So let's take this problem up here and let's solve it. So what is this here? What does this mean? Well, this means this. It means that we are doing this. It means that we are multiplying 2 plus 3, 2 times by itself, 2 plus 3. So what we need to do is distribute. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 will be 6. And now let's distribute the next one. 3 times 2 will be 6, and 3 times 3 will be 9. Now we can go ahead and add. So 4 plus 6 is 10, and 6 plus 9 will be 15. And let's add 10 plus 15, that will be 25. All right, so let's rewrite our problem. We have this part here, which is, and the minus sign, which is 1 plus 32 minus 25. So let's go ahead and let's add first before subtracting. That's the rule of pendants. That's 33 minus 25. And 33 minus 25, well, we can go ahead and set up the problem this way so we can solve it. Let's borrow from the 3, and that will be 13 minus 5. So we can count all the way from 5 to 13. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 8 using your fingers. It's very easy. So that is 8. So this is our final answer, 8. I hope these problems were helpful to you, and if they were, let me know down in the comments so I can keep making these kinds of tutorials. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.